We know how the world talks about dunya. We know how the world talks about dunya. The way it encourages us. How did the Prophet ﷺ speak about dunya? What was his? He lived in this world. He saw this world. He saw the people of this world. That's what we're living in right now. We're living here. So what does he think of the place that we're living? And what examples did he give of this place that we're living in to drive, a certain direction, to drive us in a certain direction? So the first one is this. It starts with this. It starts with identifying where we are. And he said, very simple hadith. It starts with the first example he gives is ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. 3 words. That's where it starts. You have to understand this, that the dunya is, and the word mazra'ah can be translated in many different ways, but it's the farm of akhirah. It's the plantation of akhirah. Plantation, the farm of akhirah. The dunya is a plantation of akhirah. It's the mazra'ah of akhirah. Now think about that. What does that mean? What it means is a farmer, when it's time to plant, how is a farmer working? He has a certain season, he has a certain time that he can do things. Everything is limited. And within that limited time, he has to spend as much as time possible getting the seeds in, cultivating the land. We haven't seen farming, but you can just imagine how that person has to work, right? And then that person has to be okay with delayed gratification. That's another point of a farmer. He has to be okay with it. Because typically with natural farming, you work all year and then you harvest once a year. So you're working, and then there's that one, you're not working right now like an Uber or anything else. You drop it off, money comes in. It's not like that. That actually spoils people. The way it works is the farmer has to work, and then he gets delayed or she gets delayed gratification, delayed reward for that. And that's how dunya is. Mazra'atul akhirah. Work hard here. And know Allah will give you the reward in akhirah. Allah will give you back. The real place of reward in harvest is akhirah, not in this dunya. And I'll give you another example about this. The Prophet ﷺ, he says later on, another hadith he gives, is about the example of dunya and akhirah. He says, it is, Wallahi ma dunya fil akhirati illa mithlu ma yaj'al ahadukum isba'uhu fil yammi falyanzur bima yarji'. All right. So a person can question and say, let me translate the hadith verse. He says, dunya in comparison to akhirah is nothing but like a person, he puts his finger in the vast ocean and he pulls it out. The moisture that's left on your finger is dunya, and the ocean is akhirah. In comparison to akhirah, dunya is nothing. All the prosperity, all the goodness, all the food, all the good times, all of that is nothing but the moisture on your finger. From this hadith, he's saying, don't mess up your appetite in dunya. You're gonna get it all in akhirah. Don't mess up your appetite by taking some haram enjoyment in this world. You're messing up your appetite. You're not gonna enjoy akhirah. Don't do that. All this is waiting for you. And what that appetite of yours, compare that cracker or the Cheetos to that lamb chops and those ribs. It's nothing compared to that. So stay hungry for a few hours. Don't mess up your appetite. People in iftar, they eat all these samosas and they mess up their appetite. They can't eat food anymore. So this is what this hadith is saying, that at the end of the day, the lesson from this is know how much is actually of dunya. It's nothing compared to akhirah. That's the real feast. That's the real meal.